right, so it says, all the books in the library have their proper shelf locations recorded in the catalog. The book H once is missing from its place on the library shelves, and no one in the library is using it. Since it is not checked out to a borrower, nor awaiting shelving, nor part of a special display, it must have been either misplaced or stolen. So our conclusion is this last part. It must have been misplaced or stolen. And then what was your pre-phrase of how we got there, Malika?
Well, I looked at the premises that it's not on the shelves, and since it's not on the shelves, it's not waiting shelving, and it's not part of the special display. So those premises are our only options that it's giving us. So therefore, it's supporting the conclusion that it's either misplaced or it's not in the library and stolen.
Yeah, like mine was more like even simpler where I said, okay, like we know that all place, like we know that there's a proper place. It's not there. It's not one of these things, so it must be one of these two other things. It's kind of how we break it down. And then when we go to our, everyone go ahead and read through these and put your answer in the chat. All right, so it looks like everybody crossed off C and, or not C, or A and D. Hang on a second. Yeah, D. Okay, so B says a deficiency in a system is isolated by arguing that the system failed to control one of the objects that it was intended to control. Was there, do we say that it was must have been misplaced or stolen by saying that there was a deficiency in the system? No, like we don't even care about the system necessarily. We're just trying to explain how do we get to the conclusion, like how did we solve the puzzle that it must have been misplaced or stolen? So it's not B. And then C says a conclusion about a particular object is rebutted by observing that a generalization that applies to most such objects does not apply to the object in question. We don't rebuttal a conclusion at all here. So it's not C. And then E says the conclusion is supported by ruling out other possible explanations of an observed fact. Yeah, we get to the fact that it must have been either misplaced or stolen by ruling out other things. And so that's why it's E. All right, so go ahead.